What's good, YouTube? Hope you guys are feeling well, feeling blessed out there. We're back with another video. Let's get it. Today's topic is going to be centered around certainty. We're going to get right to it. Again, it's a conversation that comes up quite often, certain words and phrases that just flow off of the tongue for a lot of people. And I want to shed light on it because I want you to, again, ponder and really think about what you're saying and how you perceive these things, because you can get out of your own way by just circumventing some of these barriers and barricades that you put out into the universe and that you put into your brain. And I really want to harp on that. So let's get right into it. Especially when it comes to health and all the information and access that we have. Definitely a topic I've harped on in the past. But with all this widespread information that we have, you would think that we'd have even more certainty with how we approach things. I can understand it completely from a consumer standpoint. Everybody's extremely weary, and trust is extremely hard to gain over time because you don't know what agendas people have. You don't know what they really are trying to put out or promote. Do they even do the things that they're putting out or talking about? Do they follow it? Do they take something on the side that they're not releasing out to the public, but they're promoting in public that they've been natural or that they haven't had all this assistance and they've just done it on their own? So when it comes to information, we have so much at our disposal, and it's like, bro, I don't know where to start. It's like this style of training here, this diet here, this method here. You're told get immediate sunlight in the morning, as soon as you wake up, and then it's like, no, do what you need to do for hustle culture. Like, do the work. It doesn't matter if you don't get outside. It's like, which one do I choose? As far as certainty, the only way that you can get to that North Star, which I mentioned in the previous video, or get to that bullseye, is through action. The certainty mind frame shackles us so much that we don't even take the action. And a lot of the time, when we do finally take the action, we put that certainty so much into somebody else or something else. You buy the ebook or the free ebook, and you're like, okay, this is my golden ticket. Or you even get with a coach, and it's like, okay, they're going to bring me over to the promised land. You should feel comfortable and confident with somebody that has the expertise and has mastered the thing. But ultimately, they still aren't with you every single hour, every single waking minute. I have that conversation off the rip with all of my clients, especially when I was in person, especially now that I'm online. We got 168 hours in a week, and we may be only training 2 to 5 hours. If we're training 2 hours, that means 166 hours you either are doing what you're supposed to be doing or not. So as far as getting closer to narrowing that window of uncertainty and getting more certain, you can still do everything to the T and it still take a different timeline than somebody else. So it shouldn't be a comparison game with anybody else, but a comparison game with the previous version of yourself to you now. But you narrow that window of opportunity by stacking these things over and over again, and by stacking the small efforts. Again, a cliche thing that you hear all the time, but you hear it all the time because it's really done. I feel like it wouldn't be something that's so regurgitated if people actually acted on it and did it, because they would get the result and then they would be in the top or upper echelon or little percentage that it is of the people that actually execute and do those things. And it's something I've also harped on before of when you're looking for that certainty and you're going to that person that you're working with, think about the qualities that they have that you align with that makes you trust them. You feel certain, or you feel like there's a guarantee in the result that you're about to receive, regardless of the industry, but let's keep it, correlated and connected to training. You feel more certain or more at ease knowing that the individual has worked with hundreds or thousands of bodies, all different shapes, sizes, races, creeds, different goals. You feel that certainty or trust that they've been doing that said craft or skill for multiple years. They didn't just do it for a year and it was a fluke, even though it wouldn't be a fluke to work with that many people and get results. But it wasn't a fluke. They've been doing it for half a decade, a decade, 2 decades, and people still like them. People are still around them. Like, you can tell a lot about something in somebody's character within that and how good they are, because it's one thing to be great at the result. It's another thing for you to still be personable and to be able to connect with people. You can have all that information and knowledge. If nobody likes being around you, nobody's trying to be receptive to that or hear from you. A different tangent, but still relevant. So going into it with that mind frame, as far as feeling confident, you feel like you can confide in that individual and get something from it and feel certain. That is the first layer. The next layer for the certainty for yourself is understanding that you have this person at your disposal, almost like your personal chat GPT or trainer GPT, if you will. And you can basically reach out, with the boundary that you guys set and create and be able to bounce off anything. Not just a, hey, here's the structure, here's what I know you've done for other people. And of course, that's your anecdotes plus the evidence that you know, and you're going to provide that for me. But I can reach out and we could troubleshoot because that's life. The certainty of thinking that everything that you're going to do is going to be black and white is just not feasible. And that's another thing we kind of have to rewire as well of, okay, of course, in a perfect world, let's say for a person that they want to keep the same sleep and wake up schedule, that's advised, that's evidence based, that's something that we would want to stick to. But let it be a situation where instead of your 50-hour work week, you got 65 that week, or your child got sick and they slept with you, or you had to take care of them. It's a different ball game. Sure, you want to wake up at 4 a.m., go to sleep at 8 p.m., something around that time frame, get the 7 hours of sleep or so, or somewhere around there, 6 hours of sleep. And within those weeks where it's a little bit more haywire, it's not going to be super ideal, or it's not going to align or match up. Being able to communicate with a trainer or a person about, hey, this is what's going on. I know we typically have this kind of workout, but I know that my stressors and how I've been able to manage and recover has been a little bit down because my sleep has been down, which has made me a little bit more irritable and stressed out during work. Still going to get to the gym because I know I feel good when I'm moving my body and it helps me get in a better mental state, but maybe let's lower the capacity or the volume. Now that obviously would be an amazing dream client. Not everybody's gonna think like that. They're gonna feel like, hey, I messed up or missed time, so I gotta make up for it and go balls to the wall. But being able to have that luxury at your disposal gives you that level of certainty to be able to make those adjustments to do the thing. Also understanding that even though you have that at your disposal and you start to create some of the concrete things that are your system and your structure, knowing that it's going to not go according to plan a lot of the time, but understanding that showing up and taking the action is the certainty. If I mic drop, that is it. Showing up is going to be the certainty that you were looking for, the guarantee that you put in the hands of the trainer or the person that's, you paid for a service or a course or a mentorship is amazing. It's knowing that they literally are just like a mirror or the example of where you're trying to be. That's really the trust that's developed. How certain would you feel if that person didn't even look like they were in condition to give you the advice that they're giving you? You would be like, that's nice, but do you implement it yourself? No. So same thing you got to ask for yourself. You now know this information because you have that person at your disposal, but are you implementing it yourself? Have you done it for long enough yourself? If you have not, that's your answer. Before you can go into all these different umbrellas and different branches and going back into all the shiny objects that I've talked about again in previous videos as well, have you done the thing for long enough? You've done it for long enough and you've exhausted all options and you stayed by the book and done everything, dot your I's, cross your T's, and you still haven't gotten the result, cool, make some iterations. Now, it doesn't have to be you've done that whole process for 180 days and you wasted time when you could have made some iterations and changes earlier. Of course, progressions and things like that, modifications and things like that, puzzle piecing because your weeks are adjusting and changing, of course, has to be done. But I just wanted to really harp on that and make you understand that the certainty that you think you're so far from, or that you're giving in the hands of somebody else, but you still want the result for yourself and it's not from them, you have to take it by the horns and just take action and do the thing and show up. It's really that self-explanatory. It's ugly, it's messy, it's unknown. It could even be you put in all that time for the 180 days and you don't get to the result that you thought you would at that time frame, but you still give yourself a better chance and a better answer of what to do or where to go because you learn along the way, whether they're not failures, they're just lessons that get you closer to the actual end outcome. That's simple. Rather than just being like, I have all this information at my disposal, all this access, not being certain, and then feeling guarded to not make any choices or decisions because you're not certain on doing so. Where does that get you? Think about this last takeaway point. Your parents, anybody close to you that had any radical changes in their life, you think that they were perfectly certain or had all the instructions and information on how to raise children? You think that they were certain or had all the information and instruction on changing careers in their 30s or 40s? No, it was a situation where they had to and they had to figure it out. So why do we do that with our health? We just put it on the back burner. We just, oh, I'll figure it out. This is the body you go to sleep in. This is the body that you look at every day. This is the body you look at in the mirror. This is the brain that you have that thinks these thoughts about how you perceive the world, how you perceive, how you move. You're in your skin all the time. I would want to be very certain that I know I've put in the work and that I ain't play around with a luxury that I've been blessed with and given. So I hope that you take that seriously and receive this message. That's all I got for today. Like, comment, subscribe as always, and I'm going to catch y'all next time. Peace.